You ready?
You're blessed as a comedian once you get into the world to be conditioned after a while to see the world a little differently, and also just find the funny in things that maybe, like even just being in Oregon these past few months with my dad while my stepmom was on hospice. Thanks for bringing it up. And she was she fucking passed, and I was there for her last breaths, and it's very weird to even just be around that because I'm there for my dad. It's my stepmom. It's the woman that he got with and then left my mom. So there's like all these weird feelings, but you put those aside after a while because you're just like, fuck, it's like my mom remarried. It is what it is. But like, you know, again, it was so just raw and real. And it was like being in there when she died. And I'm just like, fuck. And like, first of all, having a stepmom, it's like crystal clear pep. It's like, if crystal clear Pepsi at like Thanksgiving, where you're like, all right, I didn't fucking want this, but I'll be respectful and take a sip because everyone's looking at me, you know. So it's like there's probably a better analogy, but that's the one that came to mind. But she she was chill, and my dad, you know, they did their thing and were married for 20 plus years, and but we leave the room and we're sitting down. I'm like, Dad's just fucking crying, and he's been trying to keep it together most of the week, and Trump's on TV and he's like, change it, I can't watch the news right now. And I was like, all right, and we're sitting there and what do you say? You know, like, fucking, boy, she was fucking super dead, huh? That was great. Like, what do you say that's, you know, gonna make the moment better? And then we change the channel and Jerry Springer pops on. And literally the first thing that like is said, like when we change it and turn up the TV, this guy goes, Dontel, you have something you want to tell Charisse? And he's like, yeah. He's like, I fuck all your friends. Go fuck you, right? And then he's like, well, that's a lot of information. Chantrice, did you want to tell something to Dontrell? And yeah, Jerry. And she's like, yeah, I'm a man. And then just zooms in on this guy's eyes and he goes, the fuck? And my dad starts laughing. And I'm like, is this what's going to get us through the next 20 minutes of just fucking raw emotion and like it was crazy. And that was very funny. And then we started joking and it was like kind of broke the ice, but it was so, thankfully we could both, and again, like getting to a point to where you can find the funny in things that are dark. I thank God for comedy for that, because it makes me not dwell as much as I would on anything, because I immediately, and to a fault sometimes, if I get in a fight with my girl, well, you know, and I go for the joke. It's like, not everything funny. And I'm like, it is actually, if you think about it, like that was really what you said was fucking hilarious, and that's why I said that. And you know, but
that's funny.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
Comedians, you got to be so. I mean, it's like
just present, you know,
in your worldview. Like
it's great school for life.
Yeah,
that's one thing that I do love that it's like giving me, and more just being understanding of people in general. And even if I do get some, you know, guy that comes up to me and be like, I like your Jew joke, man. That was fucking funny. And I'm like, oh, thanks. Yeah, I don't call it the Jew joke, but it was, there was actually more to it. It was about not making it to the NBA because I'm Jewish. And like, obviously that's not what held me back, but I love that it struck a chord. Thanks for remembering the theme of the joke. He's like, that Jew shit was funny, man. And fuck, I don't know, Jews can be so funny, man. And you're like, yeah, well, I didn't know that you had that many teeth in your mouth when you were screaming from the audience. I assumed it was at least 4. Looks like there's 6 in there. And then he goes, I got a freebie for you. Speaking of Jew shit, he goes, this was in St. Louis, Missouri, and he goes,
oh, this is real.
Yeah, oh yeah. And he goes,
my God.
He goes, I got a joke for it, and you can have it if you want to, but I think you're gonna like it. So, what's a Jewish dilemma?
Oh, God.
A Jewish dilemma.
What?
A free ham sandwich. Because it's ham, because you can't eat the meat, but it's free, and you love free shit because you be a Jew.
Oh, my
and I'm like,
God.
damn, that's so good. He goes, you can have that. That's on the house. I was like, thank you.
You humored it the entire time?
Oh, yeah, man, because only a few times have I let my emotions get away from me. Where I told this guy who's just so trumped out, man, and it was right after some, you know, and whatever your political affiliation is, I try to avoid a lot of that during shows because I'm like, there's too much other shit to talk about, and I don't want to actively divide an audience.
Right.
But this guy was just an asshole, and then he started saying stuff that was just in line with, you know, like white power type shit, dude, and it was really, it's like, dude, there's just, and everyone in the audience is like, shut the fuck up, and so now you're distracting and ruining the show. And so, you know, I stepped in and tried to always try to kill it with kindness and do crowd work and use them to go into a bit and kind of hope that they shut things down and take a hint. This guy just wouldn't, and they started like making fun of my hair, and then I was like, "The fucking, you're gonna have to come harder than that."
Good head of good head
Oh
of
yeah,
lettuce on you.
yeah, I appreciate it. And
I don't know how you come with that.
well, it was probably maybe the way I'd, had it that day, or there was a
Did you
time
have
when
like
it
a
was.
mohawk or something?
Well, dude, there was a short time in my life where it was definitely like Jersey Shore esque, like it's got some of that poof to it.
Oh yeah.
But which I joke about. I was making a joke about how like I disappoint people constantly when they're like, "We roll in the club tonight." I'm like, "No," and they're like, "You don't fucking like the club? Well, your hair says different, dude." And so this guy was just coming at me, and then I just fucking, in a rookie move, just got real personal with him and started to like just come at him, not in a funny way, in a real like was coming at him and without trying to make it funny at the forefront of what I was delivering. And then he and his wife at the end, they walked out, and he tried to like fucking like give me like a noogie or something, and I grabbed his hand. I go, "Don't fucking touch me, bro." And then I go, and then he goes, "We're fucking out here. This is the worst show I've ever seen." I go, "You and your fat fuck wife." I go, "Don't you got a casino or fucking penny slots to go rub your arms around?" And he's like, "Fuck you." He goes, "Go to hell." I go, "I'll see you there, motherfucker." And that's how it. And then my buddy looks at me and goes, "Jesus Christ, dude." I was like, "Who? I don't know where that came from, dude. That was."
Thank you, St. Louis.
Yeah, dude.
You've been great.
Oh, dude, it was like, but you learn from that shit. Like, had I not gotten so riled up, I have not had an outburst on stage like that. I hadn't had one since. Haven't had one since, and hadn't had one prior. So it was like, I'm glad again, just to go back to where you're like, it's good these things happen sometimes, so you can step back. And I was so distraught for a couple of days, like visibly bummed that I let myself do that. But then I was like, well, cool. Now I know that I don't want to feel like that again. And I felt bad that I even like said that I'll see you in hell to a fucking old man. Like, my mom raised me better than that,
Yeah.